What's up, jobbers, and welcome to the latest edition of the Jobber Knocker podcast. As always, it's Nestlemania. Along for the ride is not JC, because I got a text message at 9 o'clock in the morning and had to scramble to find a replacement. Hope he's doing okay. He's very sick. And in the time of need, I asked the one, the only, the Zoat, the Zach of all trades, to jump in at the last minute. Zach, thank you for bailing me out and probably doing a better job coaching me along. So thank you.
You know, I feel like this correlates a lot to the current WWE product. You see, you think you've got your plan in place, you think you've got your players, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a wheel falls off one. And now JC's out hurt. And who knows? Maybe he might disappear for a while. But you know what you got to do? You just got to throw in the hot tag. And here's the Zoat ready to go on this lovely Rusev day. You know, we're going to embody the spirit of JC here. You're not wearing your green Nestle, so pinch, pinch, pinch. But let's talk wrestling.
To be honest with you, I don't like St. Patrick's Day, so it is what it is. You know,
fair. But you know what? We like wrestling, so that's what we're here to do.
We are here. That's what we do. We do talk wrestling. We could talk AW Revolution, but we won't. Not off the rip anyway. Also, we've got a lot to talk about, so I think we should get right into the shine. Always in the shine, just like Mandy Rose, because that's what JC would say. Well, folks, there's a lot to talk about, but I would like to start with, if you look at the bottom of our topic here, Randy Orton turns on Cody Rhodes. We wanted it. It happened. It was fantastic. Obviously, we knew Randy Orton was going to get cheered no matter what. But boy, did I enjoy this segment. Randy has a way about him where he feels like that there's like this visceral reaction and that he can just turn himself into a bad guy. It just fits him better. I know Cody's going to get booed no matter what, but man, this is exciting. It's fun. I think we're going to get even more dastardly Orton because we still got, 4 weeks till WrestleMania. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited.
I think that this is the injection that this storyline needed. You said it, everybody wanted it. I mean, I think some people maybe would have wanted the unexpected shock value of Cody turning, but we save that for another day. At least with this, like you said, I really like how it was executed. I don't think Cody needed the second rebarb, but I loved the way you could just see it turning in Randy, and the way I even wrote it here, part of the shine, where it's it didn't have to be you. It was supposed to be Drew here. This was supposed to be easy. Why is it gotta be hard? Something like that, where you really see the motivation of the character. It's no, I thought I was just gonna fight Drew McIntyre. We didn't have to go through this. But either way, someone was getting screwed up in this segment. No matter who stood across from here, they already told me what to do. And clearly there's a not mental voice also guiding this snake along his slithery path to the potential 15th world title. And and like you said, there's 4 weeks of him potentially punt kicking Brandy Rhodes for all we know.
Ooh, wow. You think they're going to go that route? A mother.
I mean, was Stephanie McMahon not a mother when he was DDP?
But he made out with her like an unconscious. That was creepy. But I get where you're going. I get it.
That's fine. Beth Phoenix was a mother when she ate the RKO.
RKOs are fine. When you punt somebody in the head, that's where I have a little bit of an exception. I think that one's a little too much. But
touche. But you get the drift.
So on Monday, I'm going to cross-pollinate here from Friday to Monday. On Monday Night Raw, they had a random segment that clearly was a pre-taped and shitty quality. It was probably a cell phone. It was Randy Orton backstage, supposedly having a quote-unquote interview with Michael Cole. And he said some interesting things in there, Zach, where if you were really paying attention, people are wondering who he's talking to. He said he saw you a couple weeks ago in Portland. Now, our friend Dommy Feds was doing some detective work, Detective Nestle style, saying that The Rock was filming in Portland a couple weeks ago, which I've always known Randy Orton to not give a shit about The Rock. So I find that hard to believe, personally. But because maybe The Rock hates Cody more, maybe the enemy of my enemy is my friend, maybe that'll happen. I don't know. But there were other things that I came across in my head too. I'm curious your thoughts of maybe who he was talking to. But I want to throw these out very quickly to you. Could it have been Ric Flair? Could it have been Batista? Or somebody, in my opinion, that really, 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 I think clicks, and this is where I hope JC gets excited. Maybe your boy Randy Orton called up somebody and said, "Yo, I need you to bring your Glock to Monday Night Raw and shoot on your boy Cody Rhodes." Arn Anderson would be a fucking stellar pick, in my opinion, for this entire thing.
That is quite the left field. Like, that would be hysterical. Like, I didn't mean to like laugh it off because like there could be some really good storytelling there. I could see the Rock thing. Rock was a name that came to my mind just to be like, you know what? If he wasn't going to do the Cena thing, here's something that would make sense and can actually pick up something that he had left behind that he never tackled, even when he did the Cena thing. My bro John actually had like an interesting pitch to it where, and I kind of like, I don't know if they would ever see the value in something like it, but okay, when Randy says wrestling has more than one royal family, maybe there's a chance he's talking to Regal, and maybe he acquires some goons in the form of this new birthright faction where they're all these second generations, and here's the foil that Cody has to go through now. You know, the adversity, you know, because they always got to throw adversity at Cody Rhodes. So, you know, maybe there's that line of thinking. Or maybe he just brings back his dad. Maybe Cowboy Bob Orton at 75 years old comes strutting down in his cowboy hat and he does his Western style promo and talks about Cody's dad. And you take a shot every time Cody's dad gets mentioned. And then Randy's dad gets mentioned. And it becomes a whole thing.
Our boy Tommy Fed says his dad ran through that territory. It was a stretch. That's true. I will say this much too. There could be Dustin. Right. I mean, I know he's in AEW.
Yeah, I would say he seems pretty happy where he is.
Sure.
If you see his Twitter between him and Ricochet, I mean Ricochet's a lot worse, but
yeah, no, I get you. But there's a lot of royal families. You know what I mean? I think that's.
I mean, for all you know, I mean, there was one member of Evolution you didn't mention. It could just be the big man Triple H, you know, pulling the strings and.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not about me, but it's about me.
Right. I mean, it could be Shane McMahon. It could be a bunch of different. You have no idea.
Let's hope it's not somebody else with the last name McMahon.
Well, yeah, obviously, but it is fascinating because they took something that, well, we thought was going to kind of just be like a good match, and they turned the heat up on it, which was great. So as a fan, I have all the respect in the world for everybody in that. I mean, I just feel bad for Cody because, like, I know it doesn't matter to him. He's not going to waver, but man, it's. I think Cody's going to be an undeniably fantastic heel someday. I'm just waiting for it to happen.
The only thing we can kind of veer off of this in a second, you know, because I feel like we touched on it and there's a lot to get to. The only thing I wish, like going into this now, especially with Randy after he won the Chamber, I kind of wish the King of the Ring match didn't happen. So this, like, because I had completely forgotten it had happened until someone randomly reminded me of it. It's like, oh, if only this match hadn't happened, then, because it's like, yeah, we've been waiting for this Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton match. Like, they've been teasing it forever, except they already did it. So thank gosh they turned him heel, so we're not getting the same Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton match now, just with the side glare. But like something just would have felt a little bit more of it if like it never happened, and then it was like this was the acclamation of all that boiling over of like, all right, I didn't fight. Now I'm gonna kill him. But I still think that at least this was the way to do it. I mean, I'd personally love for Randy to win at 15. You know, anything to get one guy, you know, closer to that echelon. But again, there's 4 weeks to see how things shake out.
Mm-hmm. Sports Freak says that Randy Orton's turn felt flat for me. I'm glad it happened. Reporting from my bed. Good to know.
Not if there's something that fell flat, there's something in the heat that'll have fallen more flat.
Of course, our boy Dommy Feds is saying, whoa, what would the reaction to Triple H be like? I mean, I would think that a lot of people would be concerned because it's like they've gone out of their way to call Cody the golden boy. So it feels weird to have Triple H side with Randy Orton in this particular concept because he's kind of, in a weird way, they're making a joke that Cody is the corporate champion, you know, in a lot of ways.
You know, but it wouldn't be the first time that, you know, Triple H screwed a golden boy in favor of Randy Orton.
That's fair. That's fair. I refuse to give Adam Salzer any type of comment on this podcast, especially something very mean like he just said. The Joe Stopper is here. Thank you, Joe Stopper, for being here.
Well, hi, Sal's. Maybe say something nice and you'll get acknowledged.
Yeah, you should, you fucking prick. Asshole. Anyway, there's plenty I could talk about this week. I thought there were a lot of great stuff. Is there anything that you thought was shine worthy there, Zach?
Oh, you know what? There is something I specifically put right next to Randy Orton in my shine because Nestle, there's a question I need you to answer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe in the future of Lucha Libre?
Oh, fuck off.
Because my guy, is it bright? Is it bright with that match that we saw on Monday Night Raw between Penta and Dragon Lee for the Intercontinental Championship? Woo-wee!
Now, do you actually believe that? Are you just fucking with me?
Okay. The future of Lucha Libre thing was to fuck with you. But the match itself between Dragon and Penta, I'm not sarcastic about that. I thought that was a really good match. Like, if you wanted your good Lucha Libre, like, these two little... And Laura was messaging me when she was watching it, where it's like, I feel like I'm watching the same guy wrestle himself, where they're just pinging off of each other and, like, they're playing the head games of like mocking each other, and then it's like, and anything you can do, I can do better. And like, screw it. They've been teaming with each other for weeks. Penta's doing this open challenge thing, which I'm like, kind of weird when you're doing the same thing on SmackDown. But hey, if it's gonna produce bangers like it is on SmackDown and give you a reason to watch more Raw, then so be it. Lucha Libre, baby.
Thank you, Joe Stopper. The jobber of Lucha Libre did his job. You are correct. Thank you. I appreciate the Joe Stopper. All right?
And you know what? Here on the Jobber Knocker, we appreciate jobbers like Dragon Lee because he is great.
May I make a counter argument to you? It's not a heat argument because I actually did say in my notes, Penta versus Dragon Lee, very fun matchup. Enjoyed it. But it did show me something very specific when I was watching that matchup. You have Penta with the Intercontinental Championship and all the fucking fixings, right? Then you got Dragon Lee. And as I was watching them, I was just like, you know, it's like Penta with his gear and his entrance and his whole bravado makes him feel like a 3D character. But when I see Dragon Lee with the mask and the little skimpy tights and the kind of fucking boots, I'm just like, he looks like he's half baked, like he's not a full character. And like that to me was a glaring thing. Like, he's amazing in the ring. I'm not going to ever doubt the guy in the ring. He's fan-fucking-tastic. But in terms of being somebody that matters, and when you throw out shit all the time, like JC says, future of Lucha Libre to get underneath my skin, the fact of the matter is Penta is way closer than Dragon Lee is, because Dragon Lee is just not there. He's not a full character. And if you're not people don't care about good wrestling in the WWE. It should be good, but the character is what connects you to the audience. The character is what's going to make you the money and make you get to those upper echelons, those title shots. When I'm watching this, I automatically think, wow, Penta, my eyes are glued to him. He's fantastic. He's bright. He's weird looking. And then there's just like, Dragon Lee is like, I kind of want him to look like Ricky Steamboat in the Ultimo Dragon, like a little bit like together. Like, I want to see bright colors. I want to see more shit on him. I'm sure he likes to wrestle that way, and that's his prerogative. But if you want to make more money, I want to see bright fucking shit everywhere. I want to be able to not take my eyes off of you when you're talking, when you're coming down the ramp, all that shit. You just look super uncomfortable till he gets to the ring.
I can't sit here and disagree with you. Like, there are a lot of things that if he was packaged and presented better, then, he'd be a lot easier to sell. But clearly they see that in Penta, and rightfully so. I mean, the guy is where he is for a reason. It took him a year, a little bit, to really get baked up in where he needed to be. Because, like, that was my biggest thing when he won the Intercontinental title from Dom, was like, okay, so last year's Mania was Dom, Penta, Finn, Breaker. And we sat here for a year. We did the little pause with Cena, but it's mainly been Dom. And all of it was just to do a random match on Raw where Penta won because Danhausen cursed. And I'm not shizzing on the Danhausen curse either, because that was a great way to do it. And that's monies. That's a lot of monies right there. But Penta winning just kind of fell flat to me to a degree. Because I'm like, all right, this could have been something we did like a while ago, but it's here now. And if it produces good matches with the likes of a Dragon Lee, because you know what? Maybe people didn't care about Dragon Lee before that match. But hey, now he does a Styles Clash, so that's at least a little bit more reason to, relate, have a brain thing for him,
Give me a
But
break.
in all actuality, again, it's the same way that a lot of people kind of got over through the U.S. title challenge. Maybe this helps Dragon Lee. Maybe this helps the next few guys. Maybe it's a multi-thing at Mania, and Dragon Lee can have a cool attire for Mania night. You never know.
I mean, he's got that cool butterfly wing thing, but it's just weird. It's just fucking weird to me. I don't understand it. So it bothers the fuck out of me. And again, I'm very hard on Dragon Lee. And this is the thing people should know about me. If I'm hard on somebody, it's because so many people say this good thing. And I'm like, you know what? If they're that good, then they should be under a microscope. They should be criticized, because if they're that good, they should rise to the top. So that's just how I feel about it. Something else I'd like to bring up.
Okay.
We're not going to talk about the beginning of Raw specifically, but adjacently, I did appreciate Paul Heyman coming out looking very distraught, like he hadn't slept in 6 years. I like that he said F-A-F-O, F-A-F-O, F-A-O, F5. I thought that was great. And then Brock came out and beat up all these poor bastards in masks. And then the swerve, bro, was Oba, which I was very excited about when he comes out. Doom, 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 doom. I was very excited. I have no quarrels with this idea at all. I think it's great. Even if Oba loses, which I would assume would happen at Mania, just the idea of them on a poster together gives him everything he needs. And I know Brock Lesnar will find a way to F5 him and do something weird because he's Brock Lesnar. But just what he did on Monday alone was enough for me to go, okay, we're in the twilight of Brock Lesnar's career. Regardless of how you feel about the guy, if he's willing to give back, he is such an aura and an entity and such an energy that it needs to be passed along to the next generation. And Oba's a perfect example of someone that can take that and run with it. I hope he loses his stupid accent, but I mean, that dude can run with it. He is a special kind of person.
You're not joking. And the way that, and if not even just on Monday, but the way they've presented Oba into it. Cause I remember the last time I was on the show where it's oh, why did they do this extra Kit Wilson match or whatever it may have been. But if you look at it, I loved the thing they did with Johnny Gargano. I mean, they genuinely had me for a second where I thought they might have actually been caring about Johnny Gargano until it's nah, it's just here to kill, for an Oba kill. But literally just, he would come out and accept anybody who's out there come on, fight me. And he would just fight whoever wanted to fight. So now you perfectly set up. Here's Brock Lesnar who wants an open challenge. Well, I've taken every other open challenge. Why not this one? And the way that it's all right, Brock mauls through 20 people and then Oba kills that guy. So now all right, if Brock Lesnar's the guy who can kill 20, how great does it make Oba look when he can then beat that guy, look strong, put his foot over his chest and be I'm the freaking man. And like you said, whether he goes over or not, as long as Brock is willing to, play ball and clearly he sees something in Oba enough to give him that type of stand tall. And you could see the emotion on Oba's face, in the moment of yo, this is it. This is I'm about to freaking be the man. He has every chance to be the man. And kind of similar to what we were talking about when it comes to Randy and Cody. Knowing now that Brock is going to be on every Raw, at least most of them, I'm pretty sure, going into WrestleMania, if this is how they're going to kickstart that, who knows the crazy collateral that's going to be the next 4 weeks.
Makes sense. Joe Stopper saying accent shamer. Is not its real fucking accent, so I'm not shaming it. It's a fake accent, so I'm not shaming the real thing. You see him, there's a clip of him not using his accent. Fucked me all up. I want that instead. Kobe lost his Jamaican accent. Why can't Oba?
Because it's got to be in a random thing where they can point it out for lols.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's gonna fucking happen. Anything else?
It'll be he's gonna drop it on one of those Netflix commercial break segments, just randomly in like 4 months.
So my buddy Danny was saying, did everybody see Danhausen with the cannon? And I was just like, I didn't see it. And then I saw it online and I was like, that's pretty fucking cool. Getting a giant fucking t-shirt cannon for him on week fucking 2 is pretty fucking cool. So very nice. Very evil.
And this is a guy who everybody, like, he's doing backstage segments. And people are literally doing the "you are cursed" with him. He hasn't even wrestled a match. He's barely been in front of live people on the actual television show. He's done these commercial spots where he throws out t-shirts and stuff. But all he's had to do is go, Miz, Grayson Waller, Americano. And like, he's the coolest thing ever. Wrestling does not have to be hard. It really doesn't. And this is visual, physical, tangible evidence.
And honestly, he's one of the top t-shirt sellers, which is even harder to do when you don't wrestle. So it's impressive.
It's all the money.
Yes. I hope he never wrestles, honestly.
You know what? I wouldn't even mind that. I was saying that to John the other day, where I'm like, dude, imagine if this guy is literally just in segments. Like this is a character that should be doing the stuff that they stick with R-Truth. Give it all to Danhausen, and it'll be great.
Yeah, and it'll work. He literally is a plot device. He's literally gonna make it work. Anything else that you thought was positive?
Especially if they handle, sorry to cut you off, but especially if they handle it like the way they've done with, say, Dom and then like the Americano switcheroo, where it's like, okay, these little things are having this tangible line of effects, this ripple effect, you know, and like if it becomes this grandstanding thing, like that's even better.
So now I was gonna move on, but you did jog my memory. He did the thing about trying to curse Kofi and he threw Grayson Waller in it and he's like throwing off his jacket and he's like, it fucking got my shoulder. I'm fine. It's fine. Like Waller totally sold it. Like when people buy into the stupid shit, it's so much better, you know? And I think that's it. Because you had 2 people who got cursed already. I think more, but like, man, they're making the most out of the housing for sure. I don't know how long it's going to run, but man, make all the money you can. Anything else you thought was positive?
There isn't anything specific, like shine wise. Okay. I mean, AJ Lee and Bailey had a decent little match, you know, great for them to have their little history. But you know, at least we're doing stuff.
Fair enough.
I mean, I wanted to put Trick Williams versus Jacob Fatu in the shine until, you know, 100 other things had to happen with it, which kind of made it heaty. If we want to maybe move to the heat, if that's a great segue.
You got nothing else? Let's go. Get him off my TV. Get him off my TV. Get him off my TV. That's a good segue. Let's go. Drew McIntyre quits, right? Then he comes back later on. He's quit like 2 or 3 times, it seems, on SmackDown. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not really loving this idea at all.
So earlier when I said no, it's not the Randy thing that fell flat. This is what fell flat on SmackDown. Because it started off with promise. Because I love it when Drew comes out and just blames conspiracy. Because like more often than not, he has valid claims, and you can do that for 2 years and actually have like, all right, this is why I got screwed here. Here's why, and every single one is legitimate. Like that's when you have a justified heel and it works. So I was all for him coming out and be like, this needs to be fixed, whatever the hell. And so I'm sitting here where I'm like, okay, well, if Cody can get a title shot, we can give Drew rematches, right? Why is Nick Aldis being so, you know, whatever about it? And then Fatu comes out and then Drew quits. And I'm like, no way. This is bullshit. Like you're playing me. And then fast forward to the match between Fatu and Trick Williams, which I was really getting into. You know, like they made Fatu look amazing, but Trick was on the sell for most of it. But it wasn't like damaging to him because he would hit certain moves that felt believable as near falls and like they were really getting somewhere. And then they did the Drew thing. And I'm like, well, thanks. Like, you could have just let these guys have this match. And now, obviously, you had to do something to advance WrestleMania storylines, but like, it's at the expense of something that the guys were doing right, in my opinion. Like, I can't stand when a real, like, if you're going to do that with some, like, whatever, nothing match, you know, that's just, it's literally here designed to push your thing, sure. But don't do it at the expense of something that you just kind of put here and they're like two really good guys that can use the momentum and then screw it up for the sake of something that you could have just done on any given week.
They're also testing the waters with Trick and Sammy, if you're watching closely. Because they're doing this really weird shell game, I feel like. Because there's some days where I see Aleister Black and Sammy, and there are days where I see Trick and Sammy, and I'm like, they're not sure what to do with these people yet for Mania. It feels like they're still lining up who's where, jockeying for what position on the card, or who's doing what. Because I always used to look forward to the Money in the Bank ladder matches. I thought that was really fun. And now with that it's its own pay-per-view, I get it. But like, man, I just feel like this is gonna sound really like terrible from an ultra wrestling hardcore fan. 2 nights, 14 matches, to me, it feels like they don't put enough emphasis and importance on these other matches for me to get really excited about. And I know it's crazy to think to be excited for all 14 or however many matches there are, but I literally look at the rundowns of both shows some days, Zach, and I go, there's like 2 matches I'm like really excited for on this night, and then like maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 I can be talked into. So it's like 5 out of 14 to me feels like not a great percentage.
No, and this is one of those things where, again, I really wish that one of these two companies could find the balance when it comes to pay-per-view cards. But if we're just talking specifically WWE in this aspect, right? Okay, why does each night of WrestleMania have to have 7 matches, but your standard pay-per-views have 4? How about your 2 nights of WrestleMania are each 5 matches, and they are the best matches that you can possibly book? And then your other pay-per-views are the ones that you can put a little bit more time because they're only 1 night. They do things such backwards to fit time for ads and sponsors and all that stuff that like you kill the pacing of your shows half the time. And it leads to situations like you're saying where, and I'm the same way. Like I have a show, night 1 of WrestleMania for the 2nd year in a row, like as a commentator. And I don't feel bad about it because I'm like, okay, because I'll watch night 2 and I'll probably get at least 5 of the matches I wanted to see on night 2 versus, oh my goodness, I missed Charlotte Flair on night 1 or something. You know, I'm just verbatim examples, you know, but like, it feels like, and it was a conversation I was having with somebody where it's like, WrestleMania doesn't feel like it's the elite event sometimes, where there's matches where it's like, I know everybody's got to make a paycheck. I know everybody, you know, wants their WrestleMania moment, but when does a WrestleMania moment have no meaning to it anymore? When you're just on the card because they found something for you to do rather than gave you the friggin' meat and potatoes to actually have some juice.
It's a good point. I mean, I've since COVID, like after the year after COVID, when they started doing the 2 nights thing, the first one was fine because we were all kind of stuck and I had no problem with it.
Yeah.
But going forward after that, it feels like they treat WrestleMania like graduation. Like it's the culmination. It's the end of the year. It's supposed to feel like the Super Bowl, but there's something about it that feels like I get more jazz for the Royal Rumble. I'll get more jazz for this random fucking, PLE because this fucking banger of a match is happening or this storyline has culminated in a good way. It makes the show across the board for the year better. But I feel like when you're watching WrestleMania, like your heart wants what your heart wants. Your heart wants it to be fucking WrestleMania where you're like, everything's culminating. Everything feels like it's doing. And when you get to the 14 matches, I'm like, and again, I'm spitballing here because I don't have a fucking clue, but they got to be exhausted trying to make anything fucking match up and connect. That's lower tier or mid tier because they spend so much fucking time on the big ones that you're just like, ugh, it's tough. It's really fucking tough.
I mean, look at someone like a Tiffany Stratton right now. This time last year, she's having probably the most high-profile feud of her life with Charlotte Flair, and now this year they're toiling with the idea of maybe having her as a United States contender because they still don't know what they want to do with that. So it's like again, it becomes a thing where it's like, all right, then who needs to be on WrestleMania? What matches are the ones that need to put the hype in? Because I wish that there was that sense of like anything can happen on any pay-per-view. And sometimes you do get those matches where it's like this is happening on a Backlash or this is happening on a Crown Jewel. I mean, I'm not to throw the Saudi shows on there, but the hell if I can come up with a B pay-per-view. But like it's the idea of like, but it's like you build to WrestleMania, but the show's always gonna move on. They said it during the Bloodline story where it's like after WrestleMania 39, guys, we're only in the third inning. Like the story doesn't stop. So yeah, WrestleMania should feel like the end all be all, but unlike the Super Bowl, there's nothing to miss after it. They're gonna keep cycling the next piece. So some stuff has to not feel like the end all because it has to carry into afterwards. You cap off your big ones, but sometimes your little guys over here gotta go another 3 pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm. Very much. The Joe Stopper piping in here was saying, we mock the amount of matches AEW pay-per-views are, but that the majority of them will deliver the goods. What will we remember from night one? I think if JC was here, he would say that night one usually has more of the better matches than night two, I think is what he said statistically. But that doesn't mean that there's going to be bad matches on night two. I just think we all have a preconceived bias of it being, if you're not on night two, you're kind of not on WrestleMania. Like in a weird way, like WrestleMania was always one night for us. So I think like it's hard for us to sit there and be like, Phil got his WrestleMania main event last year, but like, did he, so like, I'm not saying he didn't because he ended the fucking show, but like as a fan, you're like, when there's 2 nights, you sit there and there is a feeling of it's not the culmination. There's still more to come. And it's like the perfect example was SummerSlam to me, like this year. Like that was bullshit. Like to me, that was like, you want to talk about filler. It was filler. Like we had 2 great endings and that's great. But like, other than that, I'm just thinking to myself, this could have been a one-night fucking pay-per-view. It was a cash grab. It really was. That's what it felt like to me. And where I can't go and watch any fucking shows live from WWE anymore because the ticket prices have skyrocketed. As a fan, I'm just sitting here going, and this is the part that sucks. I used to love going to Monday Night Raw. I never missed a Raw. I never missed a SmackDown when I was in my teens and 20s. I loved live events. I thought live events were even better. But when you get to the point at my old age, you sit there and you realize the live audience, when you're going to a Raw or SmackDown, they're not performing for you. They're performing for the fucking television audience. And you kind of feel like that when you're watching WrestleMania, but WrestleMania is also performing for the audience at home. It just got a bigger backdrop. And it's really hard sometimes because you want to have the fun and like you will have fun moments, but it's almost like SNL getting a special guest star. Like that's what WrestleMania feels like. It's like, oh, we got Gronk or we've got fucking the Philadelphia Eagles or like this rando fucking celebrity that nobody knows.
We have Friday Night Jelly Roll.
Yes.
Because how much Jelly Roll did we need on SmackDown?
I wanted Randy to punt him in the head so bad, but it didn't happen.
Oh, we can punch celebrities though.
Yes. Well, yeah. Male on male crime, woman on woman crime, perfectly fine. I think it's when you mix that in the WWE, it probably ain't going to go well. But Jelly Roll, listen, Jelly Roll, here's the thing. If we're going to get a tag match where it's Miz and Kit Wilson against Jelly Roll, and they're saying, if you read the dirties of dirts, our boy Powerhouse. But I was thinking to myself, can we put fucking Danhausen in there? Like, what a fucking world we would live in if it was Danhausen.
Considering he does have a small thing with the Miz, you could. I think they pulled the Joe Hendry card last year. I don't see why you don't put the musician with the guy who does concerts, potentially. Like that could be fun. But again, is Miz and Kit Wilson a WrestleMania tag team? I mean, you know what? They might as well be, considering the state of the tag team division. Gosh, remember when the tag team titles could main event a WrestleMania? Me neither. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos feel like forever ago.
2 years ago? Was that 2 years ago? Yeah, right. So 3
years ago. But because you know what, I'll use that as a thing for like a piece of my heat. Because I'm sorry, I love both the guys involved, but it kind of also plays to like the Danhausen conversation we we're having earlier. Am I the only one that thinks that this Priest and Truth thing is 2 years too late? Like,
absolutely.
What are we doing?
Why? God, sorry.
No. Go ahead, please.
My thought is, it pairs to the Miz and the Kit thing, but also the Truth and the Priest thing. What it happens to me is I feel like, and I have no inside information, it just feels like this is how it would operate. It's like, it's so much this person's been good for us all year. We really need to find a spot for them on WrestleMania. Instead of being like, what character is driving the best storyline for something at WrestleMania to happen? And I just feel like, we got Jelly Roll, and that'll get us some fucking eyeballs and tickets. That's great. But like, Kit Wilson's taking off and he's being a good soldier. He's great. The Miz always helps the celebrities. He's great. And it's just like, if the minute fucking Powerhouse Hobbs comes in, Powerhouse Hobbs can beat Miz and fucking Kit Wilson in one fucking foul swoop. Like,
literally.
Like, you don't need that. So I feel like with the Truth thing, and it's just like, we get it. We got to use Truth. We get it. We got to use Priest. But it's just like, I'm so done with the idea of that tag teams matter in the WWE. They just don't. They've never really mattered, and they throw too many hodgepodge tag teams together, which is why we'll never probably see the Lucha Bros win the fucking tag titles.
And that's the thing, because like I don't mind a hodgepodge team here and there, because like sometimes you get some decent ones. You can't like, there's not a point where you say like, every single one of these is bad, because sometimes you get a fucking like when they did Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler, I was like, I'm with it. These dudes should just be tag champions for like 8 months. Who cares? Let them freaking cook with as many actual tag teams as possible, because they're just two really good workers, and you let them, because they've been tag generals. You know, you take a team, like again, Priest and Truth could have been some gold when they were doing that Judgment Day stuff 2 years ago. Like you could have done the can we get along? Can we work this out? And they can luck their way into the tag titles or something. But 2 years later, when Truth could have been doing, like when we're talking about, where's the meat and potatoes? Where's something that we can sink our teeth into? We had it with Truth. And now we can stick Danhausen in that. The dude's bald now for some reason. He was growing his hair back and now he's bald. So it's like, did you maybe want to pick that character back up that you cooked for 3 weeks and then threw away? Nah, we're going to do stuff with Damian Priest. And I mean, again, Damian Priest is a guy who could was winning the world title at WrestleMania, and now we have to find something for him. Like I feel bad for a lot of these guys when it ultimately boils down to it, because it's like there should be something gravitas when it comes to WrestleMania. Even Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton needed this past Friday to even get anybody on ball with it. Like, if they hadn't done that, people would still be like, okay, so when are we going to get to the point on this? Right. And you'd be waiting until a week before WrestleMania, and you'd be like, wow, we're just doing Cody versus Randy Orton, huh? So thank goodness they did what they did to give us something. But it took them this long of having to move all the pieces around 100 times to get to it. So it's like, why can't we put this level of thought into other people? If you want to give the good soldiers their due, give them something good.
Fair enough. Anything else that's super heaty that you want to talk about? Or I can just do some quick heats.
Oh, if you got some quick heats, hit me with them.
All right, first off, I'm going to use my voice to the best of my ability on this, because I am going to lose my voice. Let's see. We got some rando fucking shit on SmackDown. So here we go. The Garzas and Truth and Priest. We did that whole thing. Julia and Kiana.
None of my rant was a slight on the Garzas, because again, they are a decent enough tag team. Angel more than Berto, but like, why can't tag teams do tag team stuff and let these guys do other stuff? But continue.
Jade has a match against Michin. Everybody's excited about. Fuck that. Jade and Rhea, I'm not excited about whatsoever. This whole fucking, I'm gonna make you my bitch. Okay, great. You're all sound bites. Just fucking be done.
You know
with it.
what? At least someone finally made something. I have come on this show twice and I have dissed Jade Cargill for her I'm that bitch promo. And at least somebody finally called her on it. I mean, they had to recover from, you know, their bombshell of a freaking promo the previous week of here's Rhea Ripley. I'm not as big as you. I'm not as strong. I'm like, lady, you are like, you could yeet her if you wanted to. You could bench freaking Jade Cargill if you wanted to. Like, don't give me artificial. You guys were spatting on Twitter like you guys meant something. Like, give me WrestleMania, ladies.
Mm-hmm. It's tough. The Bellers are back. Yay. Everybody fucking loves a good Brie mode. That's fucking terrible. We're going to end up in some fucking cockamamie tag team match. Shimmy, shimmy.
Which is fine. Because you know what? Because we've got 3 plus them. If you want to do your little 4 corners BS, at least we'll have a 3 out of 4 chance that it isn't the Bella Twins.
I don't like simp Dragunov with the fucking like, I have to win it. I am just not the man I am today. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, are we castrating this motherfucker? Like, come on. I know what they're trying to do, but it's just like, let's get to the fucking point. I know we got to let it cook too, but it's just, I don't think it does anything for anybody when it's just like, Dragunov was the guy that fucking beat Gunther. Like, I know he can be down and out, but like, I feel like we're dragging this shit out. And I don't know. It bothers me.
And and this is my thing too, where it's like, okay, you said it perfectly. We see where it's going. We know what they're trying to do with this. But it doesn't mean you have to take forever. Some stuff can kind of just be like, there are so many things where they just do it for the sake of doing it. But it's like, guys, you like, this was one that you could have actually gotten some miles out of. But here's like Dragunov is just a killer. Let him kill people. Let him be little Oba. Let him be the 180 of Oba. Instead of the big guy who smooshes people, let him just throw his body at people and they die. It's the easiest thing ever.
Very much.
I mean, they did it for how long while he was the United States champion, you know? I mean...
Right. It's tough because you kind of like sit there and you think to yourself, like, is it... I know the answer is no, but it leads a seed of doubt in that, like, do I want to watch this guy? Like, I know I'm going to snap out of it and be like, oh, I fucking love watching him wrestle. But, like, as a character, I'm like, this fucking guy better pick up his fucking nutsack soon, or I'm just going to change the channel. Like, that's what it feels like. I'm sorry.
I feel the same way about a Jeff Cobb. I'm sorry, JC Mateo. I'll never call him by his freaking given name. But, like, why is Tala Tonga teaming with Solo Sikoa, who has the tag titles with Tama Tonga, who's more focused on Shinsuke, but also stealing the lantern? Like, you have a perfectly good Cobb right here that you can do some stuff with. Let him be the guy who fights with Tala Tonga. Let him throw some people. But no, it's the same old, and like, okay, I love on commentary where they're like, oh, Howdy beat Solo, and now I'm like, why Howdy comes in for like 8 seconds on the end of the tag match, and like they do the distraction with Nikki, and then he wins. Where it's like, he really does not do a lot in these matches. Like, it's crazy. And like, I know you kind of have your feelings about the Wyatts, and like, I try to defend it to an extent, but it's like, when does it not work? Like, when does it get to the point where it's like, guys, how we're doing it, like, we're not trying to keep it, like, you're tiptoeing the line of when is it spooky and when is it not spooky, and it's not there.
Right. Moving on, we got more masked men with Seth Rollins with Three Stooges style. It is what it is. I don't like Seth Rollins running around with these fucking assholes, but it's just me. Let's see.
I could, on paper, I could see it being something that worked. Like the shell shuffle thing could work. But like, if they're doing it cartoony instead of like, oh, like, all right, if you want to do something like that, why didn't the Vision come out and they're punching them and they're unmasking them? Oh, this one's not fucking Seth. Bad. This one's not Seth. They're just doing the little shuffle thing. Like, look, guys, we did the thing. But it's like, no, because it didn't make sense. You kind of just did it for the sake of doing it.
The only thing I can see is that Seth Rollins is very close to being cleared for WrestleMania. So my this is a wild out of fucking left field, never gonna happen. It's on Nestle Island, baby. It's never fucking happening. But imagine this, right? Seth Rollins has his fucking goons out. He fucking takes his mask off. He finally reveals that he is going to WrestleMania. And all those guys are in there. And he's up front, and behind him, one mask guy just starts fucking tossing motherfuckers without him knowing. Braun Breaker takes that mask off, spears his fucking ass off. That's how you fucking get him. But it's not going to happen. But that's fucking good television, you know? So.
It would be some good stuff.
Right. Because you don't know. He's a freak of nature. You have no fucking clue. But it is what it is. I don't know. I also don't love Natty killing Maxine again. I don't care about either of these now. It's just,
the Zoat will admit when he's wrong. Nestle, you roasted me when I tried. I tried to give Natty the benefit of the doubt, and then they just dumpster fired it. And nope, I can't.
You can't. No, you can't. In good conscience, you can't do it. You just can't. Moving on. Something that really upsets me is, like, I get that we have Stephanie Vicaire as the world champion. She's facing Liv Morgan, but this one took a fucking backseat, in my opinion. And I know some weeks they do take back seats, but I forgot this was fucking happening. Like that was the problem, is like it was not fucking, front of mind for me at all. And then I'm like also mad that Raquel Rodriguez forgets to wrestle like a tall, big fucking person, like a fucking powerful human being. And she slips on the fucking banana peel. I'm so tired of watching her potential slip out from underneath her. Literally. It's so frustrating, because I think if they handled her correctly, she could be really taken seriously, but they just keep making her the fucking person that you beat before you get to the fucking main boss. Like, I fucking hate that. I really do.
It's so bad that I had it right in front of my face, Stephanie versus Raquel again, and I was like, nah, I really thought we covered it already, because like that's just how Space Cadet my brain got on it. Where it's like, why? Again, I've only been on this show so many times, but we can map some timelines. The first time I was here, guess what? It was right on Raw when they first had the title fight in Boston. Mm-hmm. The last time I was here, we literally talked about the Philadelphia street fight between Raquel and Stephanie Vicaire. I swear to God, if the next time I'm on this show on Monday Night Raw, it's Stephanie Vicaire versus Raquel Rodriguez, because for some reason WWE cannot book Stephanie Vicaire unless it's surrounded with Raquel Rodriguez. For her entire reign has just been Raquel Rodriguez. Also, we can now get to this Liv Morgan thing, which, again, I didn't buy the turnaround, and now Liv is more involved with the Finn turn than she even is this title match, which, I mean, again, that was done decently, but like it's all about the follow-up. And your follow-up to it was a pre-tape with Liv going, this was my plan all along, when you've been in the group for 2 years. Like, what took you so long? Mm-hmm. No, we're too busy doing Raquel versus Stephanie Vicaire 100 times.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. And man, I don't really understand how EO fits into this whole thing. I thought we were going to have the fucking Kabuki Warrior 3-way. Like, I thought that would be a cool match, but I don't know.
It would, but for all we know, she'll be in some intercontinental thing that's Bailey and AJ. They're AJ and Becky.
Who knows?
What's up, worst one?
And we finally haven't talked about Roman and Phil.
Wow, we went this long.
So a lot of people call this a masterpiece, but this left, like, here's what I'll say. I thought it was a really good promo until the last line. Because when he called him old, I thought to myself, he's fucking been called old before. Like, why is that getting under his skin? I understand for television purposes, but the continuity of it doesn't make any sense. Also, indirectly, in my eyes as a fan, if you're calling CM Punk old, which yes, he is, and you're calling it out, and you're also saying that Phil's not on the same level, he couldn't even main event a live event, you're kind of deteriorating the excitement of WrestleMania. And when you call him old, as a fan, if you can't beat CM Punk Roman Reigns because now you've said he's old, what the fuck do you do now? Like it feels like you could everything up until that last line was good. But the minute they said you're old, I was just like, that's the boiling point. That's the no point of return here where you called me old. It wasn't about his wife, it wasn't about his dog. It wasn't any quib about him quitting and fucking not being Vince McMahon's favorite. You know what I mean? Like you could have found something, in my opinion, that really could have fucking stuck and went, ooh. But when I heard old, I went, you fucking kidding me? So
Yeah. So this is my thing, and this is like when you asked me to be on the show for today specifically. If Shine was based on everything that's happened since I've been on this show, I would have included Phil and Roman. But because it's based on this segment alone, where it's like, because I think they've done a lot of good work with like the 10-minute promos that they've done, and I wish those ones could have had the 20-minute runtime that this one did. Because I felt like in this one, outside of the Samoa Joe jab, this would, and I feel bad because Punk is one of my favorites of all time. Like, that's no secret. But since his comeback, he has fallen into a couple of times where you try to get more out of nothing. And sometimes that works like in the ring where it's like, all right, you can get a lot out of something so simple. Like, all right, when we do the Endicott college shows, right? A body slam is going to get people to pop like he just did a Canadian Destroyer. Because you can get a little bit out of a lot. But Punk, sometimes he falls into this where he has one thing, and then Roman, he can only go on as long as he can go on for. So it's like now they're kind of just spinning the same point across, trying to one-up each other in a one-up that is the same point over and over. And then, like you said, with everything that they've built to with the really good segments, and you have this cliffhanger of what Punk said about his dad, and Roman literally putting a hit out on Punk for the entire Samoan family. All the stuff with the Usos that I really enjoyed, mainly Jimmy, but that's besides the point. And all this just for it to be that Punk is old. And there it's like, okay, so then why are, like, you had so much. And this is again where it's like, this was one of those ones that actually felt like it had the gravitas of that WrestleMania, and then you sucked the air out of it. Oh, you're old. And it's like you said, what happens when Roman doesn't beat the old guy? Or is it the same thing where it's like, oh, now if you beat Punk, well, what did it matter? What did you actually accomplish in the main event at WrestleMania? Because like they already did that case to the WWE Championship itself when they, dissed McIntyre and all that stuff. And now you're downgrading your own opponent and you can attest, especially with being in wrestling, where it's like, it's in a promo, you never want to like directly break your opponent. So you want to like, yes, point out the flaw, but you don't want it to make it seem like now they're not even worth fighting. Because then what's the point of the fight?
Right. A question Todd and I always say is, why would you shit on the person? Like, I understand from a heel standpoint, you would want to fucking say some mean things. But even as a heel, if you shit on the babyface enough times, the people who are in the crowd or at home are going to go, well, then why are we caring about this? And the vice versa is a babyface. You have to start off by saying like, Zach, I know you're good in the ring, but I still don't like you because of this, and this. Like, you have to at least give the mission statement before you fucking give the end of the thesis there. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. And Dom makes a great point here. He goes, does that mean Punk needs help to beat Roman then? I could be talked into that. I could be persuaded. But I am wondering, like, this is probably not true. Again, this is one person's point of view. But it feels like since TKO has taken over and UFC loves these fucking barbs happening during these press conferences and bullshit, and it's just guys talking trash. I get it. So it feels like they can get away with it because now they're under that umbrella. But at the core, regardless of whether it's wrestling in the 70s, 80s, 90s, or now, what works is the recipe is the same. It's like fucking Kentucky Fried Chicken. The recipe doesn't fucking change because it fucking works. Like I just that bothers me because yes, he is old, but it's just like that's like being like, I'm gonna beat you because you're fat. Like, what the fuck does that do now? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
Like,
mean, it's the same. Miz liked Jelly Roll better when he was fat. Like, you know?
but this is the problem I'm running into too is there's no they have not committed to who's what. Like
Right.
they're both big stars, and that's all they need to worry about. They're not worried about heels and baby faces. And it's like the Usos were kind of heels, but they're also dealing with the Vision. And then it's just like Roman's kind of a heel, Punk's kind of a heel, but it's Raw's, the Raw is the CM Punk show. It's just like it just feels like they're like sweeping it under the rug and be like, nobody's gonna fucking pay attention to this shit. No one's gonna care that we got him for Mania. It doesn't matter. I think it
Yeah.
does.
I think they're trying to capture that kind of like Rock Austin-esque stuff where it's like both of them are cocky assholes, but they're cocky assholes that you can sympathize and agree with to an extent. Even though, like, Roman's, again, Punk is right in the sense that Roman never apologized for any of the bad things he did. So is he even a baby face? Because he's never come to terms with him actually being the problem. He's never overcome that. He still thinks he's that larger than freaking everything character. You know, who was it that mentioned that maybe Punk needs backup? Donnie Fetts. Okay, maybe the Usos do start tiptoeing that line because they did that segment with LA Knight where he's like, listen, we're all cool, but if the bloodline becomes a thing again, we're gonna beef. So maybe it's like, all right, LA Knight has to side with Punk, even though he doesn't even like Punk, because he realizes the bigger threat now of Roman being back with the Usos. Maybe hey, Dragon Lee was aligned with Punk at 2 seconds. Maybe he'll be part of the babyface alliance.
You are really pushing that.
Hey, listen, it's not as crazy as Apollo Crews being in the babyface alliance on SmackDown to fight the MFTs, okay? Yeah, I bet you didn't even know Apollo Crews was friends with Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh, I knew.
Listen, the Zoat knows, and the Zoat knows that Dragon Lee has talent, but he's not the point right now. The point of the matter is CM Punk and Roman Reigns are the main event at WrestleMania, and hopefully, I don't know how many appearances Roman has between now and Mania. I think Brock has more than him, which is kind of funny considering this whole storyline's about the part-timer, but the part-timer can't be bothered to not be part-timer. At least if you're going to call Punk old, he just lives old and does his job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very much. Since you said the word hope, I think it's time for us to get hopeful. I can't even hit the note. Glorious. You're my only hope. I'll go first if you want. Very short and sweet. I'm really getting sick and tired of these MFTs and Wyatt bullshit. It's like they win, but they still don't get the lantern back. This is what I'm asking. At WrestleMania, we finally fucking get the fucking blow off to this match. The Wyatts get their fucking lantern back. They never cross paths with the MFTs ever again. And here's the thing. It's WrestleMania. Let's do a cool little fucking tribute or some type of special effect or fucking something really magical and grandiose for WrestleMania where it's Bray Wyatt with the Wyatt Six, whether it's a hologram, just do something like that. Put a fucking cherry on the top and send us into fucking stratosphere somewhere else. Get them to fucking Raw. Get them to the Vision. Get them to fucking, I don't give a shit who they face. Get them away from the MFTs.
Allegiant Stadium. It's a closed stadium, right? Or is it one of them open dome back? Okay, so then like they could easily have one of them like crazy street fight-esque things where they do here's the projections on the mat with the bugs like we did in the Randy Orton match. And maybe you do some hologram shit where like Bray is like in the rafters or some shit like Sting or something. And it's like looking down on his people or something. Like that'd be some really cool, wholesome shit. And I love that. My hope is a little weirder. because I remember one time we were like, the Hope is kind of like a fantasy booking avenue where you could kind of just throw something at the wall. And I remembered, when somebody said that the LWO didn't matter, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe they can, because look at the battlefield we have right now in the world of Americano. You have El Grande Americano with two other Americanos. And clearly they have cheated OG Americano out of victory with his own strategy. So if we're going to stick really good wrestlers under masks and pretend like we don't care about them, how about we take the wrestlers that we don't care about and also stick them under masks and create another Americano faction? We'll have 6 Americanos in a WrestleMania street fight, and the losing team all has to unmask. Just so Cruz del Toro can say he did WrestleMania.
Wow. All right. I just want a mask versus mask match. El Grande. But maybe we'll get there.
I was shocked when they were like, oh, we're just doing it on Raw. The same way that they're doing McIntyre and Fatu on SmackDown this week, where I'm like, are we giving away the WrestleMania? Did I forget what was WrestleMania and what was free TV?
So I think I was wrong about the Drew McIntyre Jacob Fatu thing. I'm not 100%
No,
sure.
you're not, because friggin' Nick Aldis said it before Cody died.
Oh, did he?
He was like, first order of business. Drew McIntyre, you didn't quit. So fight Fatu next week. Sure.
Okay. Well, there you go. Well, we both know that's not going to end well.
No.
Anyway, that's quite a hope. Anyway, I'm going to go to give my comeback. Very rarely am I going to bring up a lot. I don't know which one you're going to give to AEW here. So I'm going to go first. You know what? You're the host. I'll let you go first. Go ahead.
Because it is funny, because like you said, like, we don't really touch on AEW a lot. But I mean, when you see the big R on the screen and you hear Metalingus, and on this day, you do see clearly, well, that day you did, because you saw the return of the rated R superstar, Adam Copeland, and Christian Cage. More so Adam Copeland, but Christian Cage, who doesn't love the father hater of the year, or father of the year, and they'll finally get to have this thing with FTR that they've been building again for like ever. That AEW can tease something for 2 years and never be able to pay it off because they're missing a piece, and then they miss a different piece when the other piece comes back. And then you have to hope that you finally have all the pieces in line. But right now, Edge and Christian are back. So, yay!
I was going to give my comeback to the one, the only, Willie boy, the Billy Goat, Will Ospreay, because boy, did he fucking level Mox with that fucking elbow. And he's somebody that you build a fucking company around. Like, that's just it. Like, he is the guy. If as much as the only reason I watch AEW is for MJF, the Willie Goat, the Billy Goat, could, in my opinion, right that ship. And I've been saying it for the last year and a half. That's a guy that if you do it right, that could be a big fucking moment. Like a big fucking turnaround for them.
And the fact that he can't, and this is something where, like, it does give me hope now for the Braun Breaker thing. Because, like, Ospreay was projected to be out for a lot longer than he was. And he kind of made one of those, like, John Cena-esque turnarounds, and it's like, here I am, I'm back. And again, and this is where I can give them some praise, because I was talking about this to John. He's a massive AEW guy, and I will give him all the credit for that. He can sit through those 5.5 hour pay-per-views and, have enjoyment the entire time. But, like, I love the way that Will Ospreay comes back as if, like, nothing's changed, where, because they're trying to get the Death Riders to be baby faces, which I still don't really buy into. But, like, Ospreay comes back, and that doesn't matter because they're the guys who took him out. Even though the Don Callis family, who he also has history with, are the major bads right now, they are the problem. It's like, no, I need to kill Moxley. Because clearly nothing has changed. Like, Hangman's not the champion anymore. I thought he saved AEW. Now he can't challenge for the belt. MJF is the tyrannical, and the Don Callis family's running around. So now here comes Assassin's Creed to save the day. And like you said, he is really somebody you can build the company around, especially now that, again, Hangman can't challenge for the belt, which I really hope they keep to, because the further you keep him away from it, in my opinion, the better, because there's so many people that can either get another reign that maybe didn't have as good of a reign, or here's freaking Will Ospreay. Just give him 3 world titles in the span of 2 years and nobody's going to argue.
It's true.
Like,
Very
he's
true.
that freaking guy. He can literally tell the story with whoever you need and be the guy. And you know what? If MJF is the only reason you watch AEW and the Billy Goat now is, maybe you'll have a reason to watch All In.
Right.
You know, maybe.
Right. It's so frustrating. It really is. Anyway, we get to the big old finish. We could continue with AEW if you really wanted to, or we could just skip it all together. Overall, I saw the highlights and the lowlights. We talked about 2 big things that happened at AEW Revolution, which, again, I wasn't a fan of the fucking Texas Death match from what I saw. I like the funk tights and the funk gear from MJF. I think they go to the fucking Texas Death match too much. And it doesn't make it special, because how do you top it? You know, like, I'm not a fan of that.
I agree.
I think they have a loaded card, obviously, but like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna get excited about Kevin Knight. I don't give a shit about Jet Speed and fucking Mystico winning fucking trios champions. Like, all the, like, great. We have a fucking random battle royal gauntlet thing or whatever for fucking Jack Perry. Like, it's a cool moment, but like, what are we doing? Like, we can't get out of our own fucking way sometimes. Like, I think that's the hardest part, is like, I like good wrestling. I love seeing something super athletic, but and I'm an old school guy, but like, in order for me to give a shit, I got to be emotionally invested in it. And I feel like they're just so quick to throw out a good match instead of being like, why do I care about this guy killing this guy?
Yeah, no, and I agree, because there were a lot of matches on Revolution where it's like, these could have been just dynamite matches. Like, don't get me wrong, I think the Dogs are a cool faction. I think their name sucks, but I think they're a cool faction. But their match had no need to be on this pay-per-view. I will give the shout. I'll give one more little positive, happy anecdote. You know, shouts out Megan Bain, who, you know, made a big splash out here locally on the independents, winning the AEW Women's Tag Team Championships alongside Lena Cross, you know, who's also done a lot of stuff, no matter what fucking region you identify with. I wish, especially because, and again, AEW, they do something well where, like, I like the idea of them having the bleed-ins from the buy-ins into the pay-per-view, where it's like, I wish they didn't do it every single time, so it felt like, okay, this match feels the need to go that long and have that moment. But, like, again, at least they have a cool concept that they can try to build upon. But I wish that they had used that for the fact that Willow Nightingale had to defend both of her belts. Like, why, if you're going to do the thing where she defends one in the pre-show and you attack her, why would you give her time to rest? Why would you have the Battle Royal in half your card before actually taking advantage of the weakened person, when you could just bleed the TBS and then have Harley come out, then have the tag team match? Boom. So, like, they can do some things right, but then they, you know, take a few steps back. But again, they're still a young company, Nestlemania. They still have time to figure these things out.
Well, with an unlimited payroll, of course they can. So here's what it is. So I'm not even going to tell you. Well, fuck it. I'll just do it, because it's usually a good joke for us when we look up what's on.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going on from. Okay, we got Will Ospreay versus Blake Christian, which would be a good match, but again.
Wait, Will Ospreay's fighting Blake Christian? Jeebus.
Yeah. And then we didn't even talk about Ronda Rousey. That's a whole thing. We got a coffin match. I should have given my comeback to Ronda Rousey. Coffin match.
Man. How did we forget about Ronda?
Gabe Kidd against Darby Allin. I don't give a fuck about Gabe Kidd. I'm sorry. Conway's gonna fucking kill me when I say that. Tony Storm versus Maria Shafir in a no holds barred match. I don't fucking care. Like, this already fucking happened. I'm scrolling. That's all they have. So yeah, it is what it is. On Raw, we've got from Boston, by the way, Usos versus the Vision in a non-title match. I assume this is to set up the WrestleMania match. I assume the Vision will win. because that makes a lot of sense. Brock Lesnar will address the Obafemi issue. I'm assuming, like you said, that'll be fun.
Oh, you know what? I just need one segment where they say no words, and it's Oba's strut versus Brock's stupid thing. And they just do this at each other for like 2 minutes. And then throw hands.
Okay. Bailey and Lyra against the Kabuki Warriors for whatever reason. I'm sure this is like 600 times if this happened.
Probably just push some tag agenda.
More Roman Reigns and CM Punk confrontation intensifies. Okay, great. Whatever. Fuck you.
Danhausen should interrupt it.
Yeah. And then on Friday, SmackDown. It seems like, oh God, I don't even know what this, I'm not even going to say it because I'm going to fuck it up somehow. But it seems like there's just random shit. It looks like the Motor City Machine Guns versus Fraxium. Jelly Roll will be back again. Great. Like it just,
like, man, how many times are they going to do Motor City versus Fraxium? Like, they have perfectly good Motor City machine guns, and we're doing Priest to Church.
Yeah, it's tough. It's fucking tough.
It's tough, man.
I think that's pretty much
hey,
it.
Ren Sinclair won the Speed Women's Championship tonight. So, like, all can't be too bad, right?
I want to get rid of that speed. That speed championship might be worse than the 24/7 title, in my opinion.
I enjoyed it as a Twitter show. I dug the concept. I like how in NXT they at least try with the lights and all that, but like at the end of the day, it's just an easy way to add a 3-minute match onto any card, like, hey, we had 4 matches today. Boom, 5.
Stupid. Well, anyway, I think that's pretty much it. Unless you have anything else you want to talk about there, Zachariah.
No, unless there's something you want to pick my brain on, but I think we've tackled a whole lot of the landscape of the current wrestling scene.
I think we're all set on that note. So thank you for subbing in on a last minute notice. I do appreciate it.
You know it, man. Anytime, whether it's in the commentary booth or here on the Jobber Knocker, you know that I love you to death, Nestlemania.
I appreciate it.
I will love watching you kick the crap out of BMT on April 5th. Right. I can't do that here.
No. Listen. I expect Jason.
Hey, you should have fought Brock, man. Why is Oba doing it?
Because he would flip me like a fucking pizza. I gotta fight within my weight class. On that note, thank you for listening and watching the Jobber Knocker podcast. We'll be back next week with some more Jobber Knockery.